first comedian, very funny, Adam Kwaselow.
How are we? I'm ashamed of who I was when I was in high school, and we all should be. If you're proud of anything you did when you were 15, there's a clearly marked exit back there. All right? Like, there's that woman, Malala, who won a Nobel Peace Prize when she was 15, and if it is not in the trash right now, I will fight her. Because when I was 15, I wore t-shirts exclusively from Hot Topic. Yes, some of y'all know, in order to get those shirts, I had to drag my dad to a store meant for people who hate their dad. Some of y'all still do. And I was upset about not getting dates when I was in high school. Now that I'm an adult, I understand why women wouldn't go out with me. It's because no woman should. I had a Simpsons-themed bar mitzvah. I have to die alone. We called it a Bart mitzvah. Yeah. Any woman who fucks me should have to pay higher taxes. I was a theater kid in high school, which is a mistake. If your child does musical theater, you have failed as a parent. That's how that works. Like, everyone's worried that their kid's gonna grow up and do sex work. That's good money if you can get somebody to pay for it. What you should be worried about is your kid singing about how many minutes there are in a year. Because that's always a cry for help, right? Yes. Because I mentioned I'm Jewish, clearly, right? Like, my shadow's circumcised. So it has been real fun lately hearing all of your super interesting takes on what institutions you think we run. We don't run the banks. If we did, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be on a yacht not doing cocaine because I have a bad sinus, all right? There's 4 major U.S. banks. One of them has a Jewish CEO, Wells Fargo. We don't run that bank. Charles does, all right? In case you're confused by the idea that one person is not his whole race, the CEO of Bank of America is Greek, and that's a group of people famous for not knowing how to run a fucking bank, all right? You want to know why Jews tend to be well off financially? I'll tell you the secret. It's because none of us have ever been healthy. So we've all inherited something, all right? My dad had an uncle who didn't have children of his own, and that's why I don't have student loans, all right? Have you ever met somebody under the age of 30 who needed a colonoscopy? Because I have their bar mitzvah t-shirt. I do. Find me a Jew with 4 living grandparents, and I will show you a baby that still has the Band-Aid on its dick, all right? And yeah, we're circumcised. We don't get circumcised at a hospital like the normals, right? We get circumcised at a ceremony. It's true. Your parents invite all of their friends and relatives to come watch an infant have outpatient surgery, right? And it's very important in Judaism, which is a religion where you're not allowed to get a piercing, you're not allowed to get a tattoo, you're not allowed to modify the body that God gave you, except for this one part. He made you in his image. He just did not have time to sand it down. People think we run the media. Bullshit. If Jews run the media, why does every TV show have a Christmas special? Meanwhile, my entire life, I've seen one Hanukkah special, and it was the fucking Rugrats, all right? We barely control cartoon baby media. I'm a comedian. I want to be famous. I think everybody wants to be famous. We just want different levels of fame, right? Like, I want to be Joey Fatone famous. Because people know who he is, but nobody gives a shit about his personal life. Like, Ariana Grande once licked a donut, and it was front page news. If Joey Fatone burns down a hospital, it's, oh, that's what he's been up to. But we like him, right? Like, I'd love to get a picture with Joey Fatone as long as we're already in the same building. Yeah. And look, I know as I get older, right, NSYNC passes people by. So to give you an idea, in case you don't know the name, from the band NSYNC, Justin Timberlake became the superstar, and Joey Fatone became the guy who doesn't have to leave this billiards bar alone. Like, that's the level. You know what I love about him? He is a professional singer who's in the biggest group in the world for 5 years. And there is not a single person in this room who knows what his voice sounds like. That's special. I've been trying to lose weight recently. I don't want to get crazy with it. I just want to get to the point where I don't have to cancel an Uber just because it's a Honda Civic, right? And over the pandemic, I did lose 100 pounds. Yeah, thank you. I gained it all back, so so I am no longer allowed to shit on people who get back with their exes. Because I was the one lying in bed like, I miss having to brace myself for stairs. Like, I was flipping through old pictures where I hate the way I look, like, I miss us. But I had to do it at the time, right? I was too fat to jerk off properly. I had to put my hand in a claw. Like I was grabbing a pickle. Like I was grabbing a pickle out of a jar. And I had to come at it from the front. Like I was putting a cap on a leaking pen. And you know you're jerking off weird when it would make more sense with a hand puppet, right? They put the Muppet Channel on Disney Plus. I had to stop watching it. Miss Piggy was looking a little bit too good. Like some guy's fitness goal is to run a mile or do a chin-up. Mine was to hold my dick in the palm of my hand. It's not even my worst fat story. One time I was at Target, and they had that's what fat people do. We go to Target, and they had a bunch of Batman onesies on sale. And I was like, ooh, that's something you try on before you buy it. And if you're wondering why I was looking to buy a Batman onesie, it's because I didn't own one, right? So I take it into the changing rooms. I get my feet through the feet holes. I get my arms through the armholes. I go to zip it up. It won't zip. Guys, I was too fat to fit in a Batman onesie. Went to take it off, couldn't get it back over my shoulders, because it turns out I was also too fat to get out of a Batman onesie. And I don't know if you know what rock bottom feels like, but it feels a lot like having to call for help